RSS feeds. So, for example, if you want to create news, we can either create individual news that we write and put into the application, or we might integrate an RSS feed. And as for RSS feeds, we can actually integrate Twitter. So, for example, if we've got a Twitter feed that is our news, rather than us having to update all the time, we just integrate Twitter. If we want to import a video or a group of videos, it's literally drop and drag what video you want to include. If you want to have an internal chat, there's a component to have a chat in there. If you want to have features where we have featured gallery of featured drops, we can create a page that has a feature. If you want to create a directory of the members that are people that you should contact within NFT.tips, we can actually include that, and there could be a contact where it actually clicks through to their phone number. These are all the things that I've already done previously within that application. So I've kind of navigated and know what it can do. The only question would be, okay, how do we implement a subscription model, should we wish to, into that application? That's the only thing that we haven't really investigated. But as I said to Alex, I've got direct contact with the CEO of that particular platform. So if there are things that we don't know or need to do, then we can either reach out to them or find out how we can integrate those. But the main thing is we can do things at speed without having to think too much. Sometimes we think too much around the thing and we don't end up doing anything.
That's it. That's what we need. That's what we need in today's days. Because I think the membership, coming back to that and this mission, because Alex, I got my own platform and whatnot, but for me it's like it's the interconnection between these communities which is very, very important to me, because these creative communities, ones like this, and the feeling of what documenting the journey and us all doing it together, and then having those pooled resources and leveraging all these technologies that are out there that either Amazon or the big corporations, they're going to get their hands on, especially with open source. So us as a community with DAOs, with voting and distributing that wealth in the right way with social impact and stuff like that as well, which is, is important when it comes to dispersing the wealth, is important to me and my kids and all that stuff. And just opportunities for entrepreneurs to access, work out these new technologies, like you're just saying one now, see. And that's another one we've got to learn, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, the good thing is, when we have these technologies, right, not everybody has to learn this technology. That defeats the whole object, So let's take a step back from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I believe that we could create a mobile application in the platform, which maybe 5 people within this group might be managing, and basically be the ones that manage that content, right? So those 5 people are basically looking after that application. So yes, they need some knowledge in that app, but the platform is quite self-explanatory. It's not difficult to actually use. Yes. Whereas there's a different task that's needed, which is people working on different silos, different projects to feed the community. But once you've got all of that information, you need to then feed that information out. How do you do that? Well, what do you all have in your hand right now? It's a mobile phone. What are you actually on? You're on a mobile application, right? What are we all after? We're after video, we're after feeds, we're after information, we're after notifications. So when you get a platform like that allows us to create something very simple, very easily, why not? Not everybody has to learn that platform. When you try to get everybody learning that platform, that's when it all falls, because who wants to learn a new platform all the time? It's just not going to happen.
Why do you need to charge a subscription fee if it's entirely blockchain based? I mean,
so there's two things. Sorry to interrupt. One, right? We don't have to necessarily charge a fee, but let's say, for example, to Alex's point and to even my point, if we are paying for Fliplet platform license. So let's say, for example, Fliplet platform license is maybe free to use, but once you go over a certain limit, you have to pay for that license. So let's say, for example, we wanted to do a mobile application that allows us to do a number of things like, do features, latest news, videos, toolkit, all in this application, feedback so members can actually send, oh, can you have this, or can you feature this person, or can you put this bit of news in there, right? And we want 50,000 or 100,000 people in the world to be able to access that information. Now, that entails having a license fee, because they're not going to just let you have that many users for free. So let's assume, from memory, it might be 10,000 for the year for you to have an app that you can service 1 million people, update anytime, anywhere, right? You might pay 10,000. Who pays for that? Does it come out of mine and Alex's pocket, or does it come out of a community pocket, or do we have some sort of subscription that basically allows us to build up the application?
Since we're talking about blockchain and crypto, specifically NFTs, why not set up a social or community token, right? And maybe a liquidity pool. And rather than pay the organization a subscription fee, I buy, 75 tokens gets me this tier, 100 tokens gets me this tier, right? And I buy those from the liquidity pool, so I put my ETH in and I take those tokens out. At some point, if I want to exit the community, I put my tokens back in and I take ETH out. Maybe not at the same price.
Personally speaking, yeah. Too complicated. Yeah, too complicated. Keep it simple.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'd say it's actually the future, and it's not that complicated. If you're buying NFTs on OpenSoft or on OpenSea, you probably use Uniswap, and that's all you need to do it.
Okay. I'm just
throwing it out there as an idea, because I'm a member.
The idea is not bad.
I'm a member of Bankless DAO, and Ryan Sean Adams is probably one of the most popular paid subscriptions in the space, but he has 2 Discord channels and Friends with Benefits, FWB. That's all token based and on Discord. And lots of people, a lot more people than are in this room right now, are doing it every single day, every month, and in some cases earning. Like Bankless DAO actually set up their own index fund called BEG. That's performed quite well. But anyway, that's just an idea. I just want to throw it out there.
So Sauce, I was
wondering if you guys had discussed
this. Hold on. Of course I've discussed it. I paid for the DAOs. I got all the tokens. We got everything in place. My challenge is trying to explain people in diapers how to use liquidity pools, right? So I believe that there has to be stages, and the app could potentially be the first exposure that they have into the space, and then we can work them and walk them through what it's like to be.
Yeah. So you have a general admission area.
Oh, okay.
You like anybody can get on the Discord server. Certain areas of that you can only get in.
Source, please,
yes,
just for 1 second. I think what we've got to realize is a lot of us in here, right, may have gone through a specific journey. Yeah, and we are quite educated in that journey. But there's a lot of people that are going to be coming into this space know nothing about that. We need to keep things simple. I'm sorry to say, but when we start talking about liquidity pools, this swap, that swap, blah, 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 people don't even know what NFTs are. We're trying to bring them on board. Having an app gives them that entry to, oh, right, NFT tips.
Yeah, true.
Okay. What have they got in here? What's new? Oh, look at this. They're showing some artists that they recommend. Oh, they've sent us a communication of, oh, we're having a drop party today. That is the easy entry. Even information to give them videos to watch, etc., etc. That's stuff that you can do without any rocket science. You just do it, get it done. You've got the information. Even with the board that Alex has built, yeah, half of that information can now, because it's in a central place, we can now take that and cherry pick the information that goes into that app to feed to the community. Then, if we wanted to, we can say to the community, because we want to keep this app going, buy this token so we can keep going. Yeah, that would be the simplest way to say to the community, right? We have this app, please contribute by buying a token so we can keep feeding it, because the people feeding the application are feeding it out of their work and their time. Now, if they're constantly working on it, they're going to need something, and to the license fee, like I said, for that platform, we will have to pay something. Is where we need a subscription. If we get the community to pay in, great, that's fantastic. If we had 20,000 today, then you know what, that's great. We pay for the subscription, we can feed all the information to the app, and then we can do other things, but we haven't got that. So this is why it's important. So I'm not shooting down anything you said, but we need to kind of like take that baby step before we can run and do these other things.
Alex, it sounds like this should be an app.
Yeah, we're working on getting it to be an app.
Like I said, it was just an idea. I may back channel.
Great idea.
Not today, but another time. I'm gonna unfollow you right now.
I think essentially what we'd be looking for is what would be the easiest way to get some sort of funding to, like, let's say, for example, pay for some of these licenses. You know, ideally, it'll be, okay, does the app allow in-app purchasing? So you might have something that says, right, you pay for a monthly subscription or you got a free subscription, and then it opens up specific sections of the app. That would be ideal. Now, can we do that? That's a question that I would need to work out with Alex. When you normally do a standard app, you could do that. I've done that many times where I've done a program that is not open source, and we've implemented in-app purchasing where you can then open up specific features like we've all seen on any of these apps.
Now, is it possible to have it where they can earn a token to get them to the next stage so they can learn something else? Or do, like, in my mind...
So what you can do, Alex, you can actually put quizzes in there. So I knew you was going to come to that question. So you can actually do quizzes in that particular Fliplet. You can actually build out quizzes so they can then fill out those quizzes and take some sort of test at the end of the day as well. What I don't know, which maybe you might be coming to, is can we then integrate it into something that they pay? And actually thinking about it, you probably can. I'll tell you why, Alex, because what we can do is you could wrap a, let's say, for example, we've got an Ethereum page, a web page that basically allows people to just connect to Web3 and buy a token. And we can wrap that into the app. So that's like just basically saying what web page do you want to link to in the application, and then that's embedded into the application. That may answer one of your questions. And the other question about can they take quizzes, you can build like quizzes and forms in that particular Flipbit container.
Because I think if we can make it fun for people who've never been in this space and give them some sort of roadmap that walks them by the hand through a series of events, and they can earn, but then they have to take the leap of faith. They have to redeem something that is a high risk that makes them nervous, and if they fail, they're gonna have to try again, and they have to buy another life, just like in a video game. If they were able to, huh?
I say yes, got to be careful about that. So there's two ways of doing that, and correct me if I'm on the same wavelength as you. The first one is, right, you get them to watch a couple of videos that we've put into that application, and then we have a quiz in the application. You take that quiz, at the end of the day, you take that quiz, it gives you a certificate. Right, that's fine. Now the risk part of what you're maybe referring to is you get them to take a quiz, and then you, after that quiz, you get them to then go and buy an NFT on the back of that, and then once they've bought that NFT, they then have to import the image that they've bought to prove that they've done that to get to the next stage. But are people willing to do that is the question. Are we wanting to really push them to that particular thing? Going to your point of taking them through stage one, you learn how to do download and install a MetaMask application, and then your quiz might ask them, what is the place that you need to go and download MetaMask, and they have to fill that in. How many seed phrases do you have to do? Why do you have to store your seed phrases? What is the importance? And they fill out, a multiple choice question. So I'm not sure if that is what you are referring to or something else along the lines of that.
The thing I'm seeing in my head is the journey of somebody who's never been in this space has to A, learn the vocabulary, B, spend some time in the space to really understand. Then they're going to get the confidence. They're going to download MetaMask. You're going to either get it on a Chrome browser or in a mobile device. Then they're going to have to try to figure out how to buy the ETH. Once they get the ETH into that wallet, then they're going to have to make a purchase to make sure that that wallet has been set up properly and they understand how to even buy an NFT, right? So once they get to that part, if we had you weren't here earlier, but we went over it this morning. We were working on growing an idea that the community could build the first NFT that a newbie would buy, and it would be called Blockchain Babies, and basically it would be created and generated by our own artists in the community, and the advanced teams are now going to have the ability to generate a generative art project that is designed, and the utility is to onboard new people into the space. So we have seasons, so every season is a new artist that gets featured, and now we get their artwork put into all these different new wallets. and they go through this process, and now they mint their first NFT and they have that in their wallet. So now they got to the first step. Now, in order for them to do that, it's going to cost them gas fees and a price to purchase that NFT. The sale of the NFT is going to be divided amongst the foundation and the artists and the developers and the people who were responsible for making that project successful. So the money would be coming in, and as we're growing as a community, there's going to be different seasons and different chains that we could potentially grow the knowledge base on, and each one could have its own, blockchain baby theme or visuals associated to that chain or something like that, right? So now they own their first NFT, and maybe they just want to be consumers. Maybe this is it. That's where they get off the train. So maybe that's all they wanted to know. How do I buy NFTs? So now they can go and learn how to potentially buy and sell on some of the other platforms if they want to get more information and learn a little bit more. Maybe one of the tasks is to sell an asset. So listing it and putting it up for an offer or doing different things. These are different tasks that have to be learned and can potentially be scary when you're really focusing on just making profit. But if you learn how to do it and it happens, it gives you that confidence when the time comes, you'll be able to actually do the different tasks.
Okay, so I get what you're saying, but we got that. Let's say, for example, in an app, these are the tasks that you need to do. Is there a case of that person just going away, following instructions and doing it, and they come back to the app and then fill out the questionnaire and the answers, versus realistically, most people that go into that space, once they've minted their first NFT, they're now confident, and why do they back to the app? Is because there's more information, there's features, there's new artists, there's stuff that we're doing in there. So that's the focus. How do you create an app sticky? To your point, if you've got new features in there and new artists and new information, people will come back to that app to use it. If you're talking about the different stages in that journey, then yes, you can gamify it by having specific tasks that they need to do, and then come back to the application to prove that they've done it, even if that is uploading the image that they've done or the NFT that they've actually bought and submit it. By the way, within that platform, there's also a social media element where people can actually upload stuff, and I think you can even have the rating stuff, so people can actually rate things as well.
So you're saying that we could potentially have something ready in 24 hours?
Yeah, and I think even when make it ready, you can actually make it available for people to come and view as well. And if you put a feedback form in there, you can probably test that out. And by the way, you publish it in two ways. So you can publish a web version straight away, or when you go to publish, you can make web version available for people. When it's in test mode, they have to download the Fliplet app, but you have to you have to assign access to people. But when we go live, if we go live, then obviously everybody who then downloads it on the App Store would then get access to it.
So can you explain to me what the 50-person threshold is? Is that based on how many people are able to use it using the application that was provided by the company, or is that people who are able to download it from the app and Play Store, and now there's only able to have 50 people actually interacting with it, and then once those 50 maxed out, then nobody else can access the app? I didn't understand that. That's what made me stop.
One, I will take it offline with you, but the way I remember it, and I'll definitely go back online and take a look into it. There's two. The model work is you have a license fee for your internal staff. So, for example, you are one person within NFT Tips, I'm another person, and then you might get 5 other people or 50 people internally to start creating applications and modifying pages. Those are all different licenses. Yeah, so we might have to pay a license for that if we want to go that far, versus just having you and maybe me using the same login to modify that. But that would work when we have different licenses. Then the other side of that is we want millions of people to download the app, so you'd have a consumer base. So my from what I remember, you only pay for the other side if you want more than 5 people using and modifying the app, not consumers using the application.
Okay.
But I'll double check for you on that one and get back to you in the back channel on that. Because I see your point. It says that we want millions of people to download the application. We're not going to be paying ridiculous amounts of money to do that, which is fine. But I can double check that. From what I remember, when we launched an app like that on the platform before, the company that used it, I think they paid about 10, 15 grand, and they could produce as many apps as they'd like to millions of people.
Okay.
The flip side of that is, with the right license, right, you could produce 10, 15 apps, right, at speed, and all of those apps might be slightly different, and millions of people will be downloading those apps. So it's really a case of how much does the license cost that benefit NFT tips, so we're not getting fleeced, and it works for what we're trying to do.
And also, yeah, I think.
So just on another note, Alex, just imagine now we got a lot of people coming to us for applications, discords, blah blah blah. We could build out an app for them using the platform, so they have their own application for their drops, rather than, Discord is great, but there's probably different things that you probably want to do. That's just one example.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, that's the balance you want to maybe find, Alex, and I think you already know, and I'm hearing what you're saying, see, and it sounds cool, but, in terms of paying all these different companies' licenses or building your own, so, what open source sort of, you've logged into what we've created, Alex, and we're just getting started. That's not even 1% of the prototype, and I won't mention it here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, to have somewhere we can house with different groups and feeds and content and all that stuff, with something like the ClickUp project management for just those team members that need that sort of access, that are involved with projects. So that's a bit of food for thought, bro. And I'm going to go to sleep for the night here in Australia. So thanks for everyone. Thank you, Alex. I'll catch you tomorrow, bro.
I
See you
do.
all.
Keep smiling.
I thought it's very simple. You need to keep it simple. It's great having the mirror board as a soundboard, everybody having their stuff there, and everybody being able to do that. But if you want to actually produce a product, yeah, these other products are there, like Flipnik, for us to actually do that and actually have an MVP at the end of the day, rather than us talking about it. Yeah, you can produce an MVP. Just like you said, within 24 hours, you probably have an app, and then basically showcase that and get some feedback on it straight away.
So let's ask the group, what would be the most important things that you would like to see in an app? What is most important to you? Why would you use an app?
The ease of use is a big selling point.
The question you're asking, Alex, we need to be careful about how we're asking this question, because we're looking at it in different ways. Some people may be very, very new into this space. So if we're talking about from a newbie, so the first question is, as a newbie, what would you expect to be in an NFT tips app? If I take that question first, what would I expect? I would expect some great videos, of how I could actually, create an NFT, how I'd mint an NFT. Those would be the basics. I'd want news in there. I'd want a gallery of, some of the great NFTs that are available. That, I'd want to communicate and put some feedback into the application. Those would be some of the things that I would basically just want at the basic level. Then obviously you can get to the advanced level. So that would be my first question, and obviously other people within this meeting, please chime in.
This is a question of what would a newbie to NFTs want in an app, like a mobile app? Is that the question?
Correct.
All right. I would argue that they don't want an app, like, I don't want an app, but what I do want is a YouTube playlist with vetted sources for things like wallets and Chrome extensions, and just basically a place of truth, if you will, a place I can go back to, and it'll be really clear if I'm going to this step, what are the tools, and then some links to a YouTube playlist to watch those tools. That's what I would want.
Excellent. Alex, you can put that in there straight away. You can put that YouTube list within that.
Yeah, I got it.
Drag and drag, very easy. 5 minutes.
Very good point, Dodi. I would agree with you. People want tutorials, easy access, like a list of things to follow, and a library of content and resources to access. I think it's a good feedback.
I think also people would like some sort of contact information, maybe by text or live chat or something like that, because questions will inevitably arise.
Hey Alex, it's Bridget. Good morning. I sent can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sent you a back channel message, and what I would like to see in an app is flashcards to learn, sort of like Quizlet or Kahoot, sort of like games that test my knowledge.
Some sort of form that you can fill out by to that with some flashcards as well.
Mr. C, your audio is like matrixy. Is your internet stable or is it me? I don't know, because I'm getting a red band every few minutes.
I don't get a red band, but yeah, you guys sound staticky.
I did wanted to ask. I think the title of the room is streaming on YouTube, streaming to YouTube, but I haven't heard anybody talking about it for a little while. I'm actually doing a stream live on YouTube tomorrow. It's actually going to be a test because we want to do a live streaming for the drop, the 11th of October. So tomorrow we're doing a test, and we want to do live streaming across multiple platforms. So we aim to set up one input, if you will, and then stream it on Discord, Clubhouse, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And so we're going to do all the technical installation and setup tomorrow. So if any of you are interested about this topic, I encourage you to just check out my profile and follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the one you prefer, so you can check out tomorrow our endeavor in this avenue.
Hey Valentine, what are you using to stream to multiple platforms?
I don't know yet. It's my co-founder, the technical guy. So I will look into it. I mean, I will be able to answer you in back channel if you reach out to me, and we will set up tomorrow. I think we want to test different solutions. So it's a good question. We haven't done it yet, so it's going to be our first time. I just did some, Clubhouse and YouTube Live before, but then we haven't done a one stream then multiple distribution solution yet. So we're pretty excited to test out tomorrow and to work our way towards having a solution that to reach multiple people across platforms while we do the recording at once.
Great, that sounds awesome. Hey, can I ask that the room be reset?
Go ahead, reset it.
I love Alex.
Hey guys,
So you're in the NFT Tips Club, and your topic today is streaming to YouTube. And we are talking about something else, NFT.
Right, I get that. So I guess I would like to stay in this room and I would like to participate in the conversation, and I don't understand what you guys are talking about. So if somebody could fill me in, that would be really great.
What are we doing?
Welcome to the room. This is NFT Tips. The topic we're talking about today is Alexander Mazet is both on, I don't remember the name of the site now.
Airtime.
Yes, airtime.com, where you can follow along. You can also follow along in his personal YouTube, which is Alexander Mazet. is his YouTube channel. He's doing a really interesting collaborative thing where we can follow on the Miro board and follow him real time on airtime, walking through the development on a community basis of a full-fledged NFT project. Furthermore, just getting down into the nitty-gritty of different tools that could help people on any place where they are in their developing journey through NFTs.
Thank you. So you guys are all watching something else that he's doing. I see. Okay, I will join the viewing. Thank you.
Nice.
FYI, it's Mazai, not Mazay. Mazai, Alexander Mazai.
Well, technically, it's Metsai. Because when I went to change my name in Bulgarian, they told me that double Z in Italian is like pizza. So double Z is Z. So it's Metsai. I like
Sorry
pizza.
about that. I was winging it. I was totally winging it.
And double Z and double Z in Australian is double Z in Australia is double Z.
Yeah, I always use ZZ and people go, what are you talking about? What is a Z? I'm like, ah.
The reason I started going by the name Chaz with two Z's was because I was at this club in San Francisco called the End Up back in like 92, 93, something like that. And some Australian dude told me, was like, why don't you spell your name with the two Z's and double Z? And I was like, that's like the coolest thing I've ever heard. So yeah, he still had one Z, and I was like, after that, it was on a cracking.
All right, cool.
And remember, Alex, darling, you are not from Bulgaria. You're from New Jersey.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, in order for me to get married in Bulgaria, I needed to translate my birth certificate and documents, so I had a translator, and she was like correcting the pronunciation of my own name. It's all good. You can call me whatever you like.
Can I call you Brett still?
You can call me whatever you like. You're gonna confuse people.
The most lovable person, the most kind, the most generous, and the most highly integrous person I've ever known. How's that?
Alright, that works. It's a little long, but we can work with it.
More than anyone else interested, if you check my PTR right now, that's the official logo for the Airtime app. It's a quick and easy download for both iOS and Apple. So just telling you that because I know there are a lot of different apps out there to try to copycat and all of that, but this is the one.
Thanks. I'm already in it.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out where to go now. What's important to the room right now? I really want to get this app going. I just don't know how I'm supposed to be in 9 different places at the same time and have private conversations with everybody because everybody wants my attention. So either we do it like this or we figure it out. I don't know, but until we can have this system running itself and we can have like multiple people participating, and I got a bunch of little screens running around on Miro board, which is super cool. And let's see what we can do together. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out myself.
Alexander, you're killing it, unlike a total dum-dum, and I'm following. I mean, I have to like dig my feet in the ground, and I've been digging around to get there, but yeah, it's working.
Awesome. Let's go. Alright, so let's go back to the app. What other functionalities are absolutely necessity for a person who I want you guys to stop and just think about, you don't have Clubhouse, you've never been on Airtime, you've never been anywhere, and you're just a regular average person that's living in the real world, that never heard the word crypto, don't own Bitcoin, nothing, and you're a consumer of iPhone apps or Android apps, and you're on Instagram and maybe TikTok, right? You're not even on Twitter, you're not interested about all this stuff, you're not even seeing all the news because you don't even have anybody that you follow that's sharing this news with you. So if we had an app that we can onboard people with, what are the key sections that app would need to be a super success?
Technical support.
Yeah, I got that one.
How about key links to things like OpenSea, etc., like different URLs that they need to create accounts on, or people they need to follow even? You know what I mean? Like they may not be interested in Twitter, but for all intent and purpose, they may need to, just in suggested apps they need to download and be a part of, and people to follow. Because there are a lot of Twitter accounts that kind of get some good concise information, so they can just get acclimated to the environment.
So now here's the next question: how do we identify who gets put on that list? What qualifies them to be somebody to follow? Why should we suggest to follow this person? Who is it, and why are they important?
I'd say definitely people in our community that have proven themselves to be leaders. I don't want to say any people in particular, but there are a few here on Clubhouse and Twitter, etc., that suggest good projects, and they seem pretty vetted to me. But I don't know. That would be better answered by you or someone more senior.
I'd like to go back to your earlier question, Alexander, if I may, please.
Go ahead.
If someone is a rank beginner, someone who has absolutely no idea what's going on, a welcome page that includes a questionnaire, a quiz, an invite that would give them feedback as to where they fit within the community. Are they coming into kindergarten? Are they in middle school? Are they in high school? Are they in a graduate program? Are they ready to teach other people?
Okay, so an orientation.
Some idea of where you fit tells you what else you need to go to, I think.
So how do you identify an orientation page? Is it a form? Is it a quiz? Is it?
You could probably have a form or a quiz with that, which maybe then ranks the person.
I would recommend that the quiz be multiple choice, be funny, so that some of the choices are absolutely ridiculous language, and playful, but multiple choice, because they don't know what they don't know if you're talking about a rank beginner. And even some of the people further up who have been on the internet, very active accounts on YouTube, on social media of all sorts. You need to be able to just play. And if you introduce play minute one, when one steps onto this, that's the way you set the culture for everybody that joins. So I think a multiple choice, including choices that are perfectly ridiculous, like do you still suck your thumb? Silliness is exactly something to engage people, I think. But getting to know where you fit in this instead of feeling completely overwhelmed by, well, what should I do first? Should I go to this intro? Should I go to this platform? Where do I need to go to learn? I don't know what I need to learn. No. That's what you're talking about if you're talking about rank beginners.
Okay.
But it also allows somebody to know, hey, I'm in high school. I really am not in college, even though I thought I was. Does that make sense? I hope so, and I hope this is of some value.
Yeah. Orientation.
All right, here's something that occurred to me. And this comes from when I was trying to learn JavaScript, React, Redux. That was like my COVID project, was let's go
What about disabled persons?
Making sourdough bread. It's like, let's go learn Java React. Okay, there was a YouTube creator.
What about
who would
blind
make
persons?
React in 60 seconds. They'd make Redux. So these really kind of complicated things. He just took all of the information from a lot of videos and broke it down to a 60-second video that was kind of fast speaking and took you from A to B. This is what this thing is. And then in descriptions would be what he had, like more in-depth, like links to more in-depth videos. That was super helpful for me to wrap around very complicated projects. I think something like that would be extremely helpful too.
How can I see that? Where's that link? Where's the framework? I want to see it.
The React in 60 seconds. You want me to back channel you a link? I have to go dig it up.
Yeah, if you could find, listen, I know that this is super challenging, but sometimes it's easier to take a framework that already exists, and then we can just adjust the framework because it's a proven model. So once I see how they structured it, I can just say, oh, okay, replace this with this content, and we're
That's
good to go.
brilliant, actually. I think that's, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that,
good,
Dottie.
good time.
That's like bite-sized videos, 60 seconds bite-sized. Because me personally, I don't like watching videos more than 3 minutes. I lose concentration pretty quickly unless it's really engaging.
All right, so let's make a
Yeah,
list of a 1 minute video list. 1 minute videos. What could you learn in 1 minute? Go.
Learn what cryptocurrencies exist, or the top 10. You could learn how to download a MetaMask wallet. You could learn what a non-fungible token is. You could learn what are the top 10 NFT websites. You could learn how to secure your crypto. You could learn what wallets exist and how to buy that crypto.
What else?
What the hell is an NFT? Why does it matter to the future? I think would be
Where it's stored, the blockchain, maybe something just real basic and informative.
That's right, and I would like to add how this fits into your life. Are you aware of a metaverse? Have you come and played in a metaverse? Because that's the purpose of being engaged here.
yeah,
Building a
metaverse.
relationship. Building a relationship with metaverse. A tour of a couple of metaverse sites. Get people engaged in that so they understand that the NFT is not just something that sits in your world and doesn't have anything to do but wait until it increases in value, which is an idea that's out there, so that you can resell it. How can you engage with it? How does it affect your life day to day or eventually? Play, and play.
So on that point, what is a metaverse in 60 seconds? Where are the metaverses where you can go and play? In 60 seconds. Doesn't need to be more than that.
What was the last one, Mr. C?
Why not be both and more? 60 seconds and mid depth of water and then deep dive. Why limit to just one?
Yeah, so in that framework that Dottie was talking about, that 60 seconds is just the bite size, and then you have the extended, go and watch this for more information, or here's some resources if you want more information.
And then to that point, like once you get past those metaverse video, 60-second videos, like what is a wearable? How do you change your avatar? Why would you want to change your avatar? Like how do you, like things like that have to do with the metaverse and what happens in it.
Teach me none of that.
Little bit. I think it would be very helpful,
What is
like to
NFTs?
explain the terms related to NFTs. What is a drop? What is gas fee? What is minting? What is burn fee? Things like that. Because I remember those days when I got here and I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about? So like, just explain the terms would be very helpful.
So just on Andressa's point, maybe you could have the top 10 things to know about NFTs and the acronyms and their meanings. Seconds, maybe either you do a 60 seconds on each one, or you do a top 10 in a minute and you explain each one. We might have to do a 60-second on each one for minting, or maybe, as you said, the top 10. These are the terms: minting, drops, NFTs in that 60 seconds.
So let me ask you this. Does this video series, from the format that you had it, was it created by one entity, meaning one face, one voice, or was it a group of people from different communities all gathering information and sharing that 1 minute video in their voice?
So I went and went through my bookmarks to find out. It was called Fireship. So it looks like it was a group that created them, but it was always like this one voice. It was a very moving very quickly, much like how I am talking right now. And they were very precise about at these time points, this is what we're talking about, and then you can see it in the description. You can branch out from there. So and I'm just looking at the videos now. It would be 10 seconds, give an overview of this is what you're learning about, and then it was just a fast run through the primary information. That's the key information. that you need, so it went more into vocabulary, backed up by visuals. I'm sending you some of the links. One of the ones that stuck out of my head was GitHub. I don't know how many people use GitHub, but when you're first introduced, it seems like some abstract thing that aliens are using. So the fact that they got me from, I have no idea what anybody is talking about with GitHub, and in 100 seconds, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go and start digging in and learning GitHub was pretty impressive. So I'll back channel you that link as well.
Okay, awesome. So the framework was 10 seconds intro, 50 seconds talking like a New Yorker and just going through all the keywords.
Yes. Yeah.
What visual aid? What? Not a human being on screen. It was just visual aid slides or animations.
It was more like animated, edited together videos with just like straight up. You would see, okay, this is the code. This is what they're typing in. So I would imagine it would be like you're going to need a wallet. Like 90% of people that work in space use MetaMask wallet, and then you would see right there like a clip of someone's MetaMask wallet, and they would have like a mouse moving and words typing across the screen.
Okay.
So it was almost like this is what you're going to see when you're doing GitHub, but made it an interesting edited video format.
Alex, I'll take it one step further. I would say, just to your question, I wouldn't just keep to one person doing it. Maybe two, maybe
I was
maybe in English, and also maybe in two common languages as well, so you capture the full breadth.
Well, this is the vision that I had a long time ago, and it's called discipleship. If we can take this list and create these videos and then give the library to the community, I think you can't hear me.
So to Alex's point, I think what my point is that we need it in multiple different types of voices and people, because there are people from different cultures, different voices that will resonate to that particular speaker, and at the same time, different languages. We speak in English at the moment, and even myself and Alex are speaking in slightly different tones. But you will get people in French, Spanish, German, whatever, in the Indian language, who will be just as useful to hear that information. And because our community is quite diverse, these people within our community can do these different languages and speak these different languages using the same framework for these 60-second videos.
Well, the thing I was trying to say before my internet was cutting out, if we can understand that all this information is important and all of us have a different perspective and community that we've cultivated through our social networks, if we can take this library and then it becomes open source where people could just record their voice over and redo the video, and now it's their identity and it's them sharing it, now it just becomes something that becomes theirs, and their audience feels like you onboarded them. So that's just another extension to what's possible if we want to work as a collective.
Really, Alex, I love that. Definitely love that. And that goes to the point of, when people are trying to do NFT drops, but they haven't really onboarded their community, because their community wants to see them talking about it. But what happens is they just don't drop it.
Hey Alex, Claudette again. Do you have their clearing up myths of NFT, like NFT is not bad for the environment? It's things like that.
So NFTs that are not bad for the environment?
No, just having a section where we clear up all the myths around NFT and make them facts. Like a lot of people that are not interested because they believe that NFT are bad for the environment, or that they're a bad investment, or that they could be fraud. So a section where we can have clarity on what they really are and what they're not.
Also, some security features, like a lot of people are concerned with the security of these things. A 60-second video on, I guess, safe practices, something like that.
I like that, safe practices in crypto and NFTs. To protect your wallet, how to protect your seed phrase. What is your seed phrase? I think you've obviously covered that before, Alex, so something that we've got some videos for, but it's definitely, you know, a common thing that you need to include. Alex, it sounds like you're doing a hackathon right now, you know.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being me, doing what I do. I don't know. I'm trying to solve these problems, and it's hard to do it when you're all stuck in your head. So if I share what's in my head with the whole world, maybe we could find solutions that we could change it.
Hey, Alex, I know you probably heard this a lot, but we miss you, man. I'm glad to see you coming back into rooms and stuff like that.
Awesome, dude. Nice to see you too.
Hi, my name is Euphoria. I was wondering if I could ask a question.
Go ahead.
Great, thanks. So I wanted to, I came in this room because I've been following what you guys are doing, and I love the education piece very, very much. So we're, and this is, I just wanted to explain, building a hyper-realistic metaverse, and we have a 3-part that's dedicated to education, and basically like around the triangle, it's like a realistic New York, and then around the triangle we have a part that's for climate change, a part that's for education and schools and gun control and getting protesting. It's like a place where you'd see a protest in a virtual world. And then, so we have this big part of education, and we're looking to build out the, you know, although we have fun stuff, we really are looking for this kind of thing for an education building to like onboard people and educate them. And so I'm looking for someone in this community to work with to inform our architecture that we're building. If there's anybody who'd be able to help us like design a right building that would help you guys onboard people in a metaverse, that like you walk into a 3D space and you have screens on the wall and you know, all the tools that you need to educate people in the way that you guys are talking about. I just wanted to reach out. I'm always building in Unreal, so I don't get on here very much. But I'm really excited to follow what you guys are up to.
So you're an Unreal artist that's looking to build, let's call it a new 3-dimensional website. So instead of it being a scroll up and down, it's multiple videos or screens, if you will, that you walk through an actual timeline, if you will. So you go through this wall or this maze, and it gives you access to the knowledge, and you kind of learn as you're playing this experience.
It would be, so you land in the middle of Times Square in the metaverse. So you're walking into, and you don't need a headset, you don't need to download. It's going to be open on open WebGL. And you walk through the metaverse. So instead of like crypto voxels, it's the difference would be it's realistic, it's hyper-realistic. So you walk into Times Square, and then you can go right or left. On the right-hand side, you can go into our building, which has like music and games and fun stuff. But if you walk straight ahead, it's we have like it's called like the triangle of social justice. So you've got an education district, which is about gun control, and so that we're linking in like protests, kind of a way to mobilize people. Climate change is in one district, and so basically you walk into a building, so you're walking along the street, you see like street people out in the middle of the street doing cool stuff. Maybe it's an artist who's doing a benefit for a Save the Children charity or something like that. So we've got like, it's fun, but it's also, our whole goal is to really get people motivated and participate in, I would say, the unified global economy, to start mobilizing together to fight things like climate change. That's kind of the whole purpose. The fun stuff's to bring the people, but the main motive is to actually, use the tools of the gaming engines to do, get people
Sounds interesting. I like it. What's up, Eric?
Chilling, just getting up, I'm gonna be surrounded by some of my favorite people.
Let's go. So, let's see what we got. We got Emmanuel in the audience. What's up, Emmanuel? He's probably at work. He can't come and hang out with us today. Is he here?
Hi, Alex.
What's up, buddy? How you feeling?
What's good? What's good? I have missed you.
Missed you too, man. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading, writing, typing, texting, streaming live on YouTube, trying to figure out where this community should be moving towards as a collective. We have a mural board now that is now a collective consciousness of everybody that's in this space. Everybody's invited to come in here and share. Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Is there anybody in this community that can help me build a mural board like this mural board for my project?
But why don't we build it in this mural board so people could see what goes into it, so then you can help other people while we're building it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's start there. What is your project?
For real? All right, my project is a group of us have a artist in Brazil creating 3D artwork in Unity, which we will have as a drop, and the proceeds from the drop seeds a community of basically building a game and a DAO and all of that. So it's toys and physicals, yeah. Also, yeah, that's it. That's the project. 3D, or sort of like toys, and they'll have interoperable statistics in the toys, and yeah, they're minted from that's, I know I'm explaining this terribly, so I just want to thank everyone for very kindly listening to.
Is there a website yet?
What's that? Do we have a website?
Yes.
Okay, we do not have our website live yet. We're giving the artist time to get to a place where they're really comfortable. We have coded our website minus pertinent information that still needs to be worked out, like roadmap, and how the art's going to be hosted, which we want the artist to have a really big part in. So we're just letting him get to a point where he's happy with his work product, and then he can start giving more instruction as far as the assets, so he's represented well on the website. But the website's basically the wireframe's done. All of that stuff is done. It's a React app. It's ready to go live as soon as we get the vision from the artist to finalize things.
Do you have a Discord?
Not yet.
Why?
Okay. Yes, we have a Discord. It's secret right now. We have a super secret Discord at this point.
Why is it secret?
Because we're still working out a lot of this stuff. We want firm boundaries, rules, and guidelines for what the community is going to do and the plan for the community.
So how long is it going to take you to make firm, what'd you call them? Firm outline? Rules?
Oh, as far as what the Discord community is?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so in the dark about it right now for how to build the community. I have a lot of ideas. So hopefully an hour, anywhere between an hour and 4 weeks, Alex.
Okay, what's the date of the drop? What's the date of the drop? Projected date.
So we projected date of mid-November. So close to kind of when people are doing holidays and stuff, given that it's got a toy feel.
Okay.
Or the art has got like that sort of feel. So we thought that's a nice time to drop, is when people are starting to gear up for Christmas and holidays. You're in that mood.
Is there a Twitter?
There's a Twitter that's been registered, but it hasn't been built out. We haven't built out our marketing or community building at this time.
So when do you do that in your timeline?
Yeah, that's a good question. Now?
Like 6 weeks ago would have been the answer, right? So here's what's gonna happen. 6 weeks ago is when you should have started. All right. So here's the question, right? You got all the assets that you acquired, right? So you have a Discord, you have a Twitter. Do you have any other social platforms that you acquired the name?
Yeah, the .com, the .io. We registered the .com, the .io.
Do you have a YouTube?
No, we don't have YouTube this time.
Do you have Instagram?
No, we do not have an Instagram.
Do you have any other social properties?
No, just Twitter, Discord, the websites.
Okay, so you got that. Now, here's what's gonna happen. You have, what's today's date? I'm horrible at days. So you got September 24th, right? That's right now. You have a projected number, let's say November 15th ish. How many weeks is that in between?
Is that 7? 7 weeks? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 weeks. At what week, if we break them down into 1 week intervals, when do you launch the Twitter and Discord? At what week?
Yeah, a week ago. It should have been a week ago. All right, so the Twitter needs to be launched this week. All right.
Do you understand why?
Yeah, because you have to build, basically we have to build our Twitter, we have to build our organically. We have to build our Twitter following, that's got to funnel into our Discord following, because they're not going to be able to find Discord if they don't have an entry point.
So you're telling me?
Is that correct? I mean, that was my guess. I may not know why.
No, I'm just asking questions, and it's up to us to discover what the answer is. But you're saying Twitter comes first, in your point of view, and then they go from Twitter to Discord, right?
Yeah, because the shareability in Twitter and like I believe so. The what do you call that? The discoverability of Twitter is higher than Discord.
All right. So now, do you have anything, like, what is your unique selling opportunity? Why do people care about this project?
So one thing is we're involved in the NFT space, so we have a certain amount of interaction with communities already, and we're basing this on the market fit that we both like being in those spaces and communicating with those people. We all pretty much desire this to exist in the community. So we're working on our shared desire and what we see as a market fit for the shared desire to the communities that we're interacting with in the NFT space.
I heard you. I don't understand what it means. Why do I care? If I never heard of you, I don't know who you are, and I'm finding this come up on an Instagram feed. Why do I care?
Okay, we have amazing art in a 3D environment that you're going to be able to institute your own PFPs into and build with a community in real time a game that reflects your community's desires and starts with an I and ethos.
So okay, maybe okay.
So dope art, interoperability, and the ability to use the kind of NFTs you're already into in the art.
Use NFTs you already own.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I jump around a lot, and I should have asked this question first. Who is a qualified buyer?
Anybody who's already in the NFT space, or gets there. Who's a qualified buyer? Right. You mean like price point, what have you?
No, I'm saying what person is qualified to buy it? Do they have a MetaMask? Do they have 5 ETH in their wallet? Do they spend time on Clubhouse? Do they have a Twitter account? Do they have a Discord account? Do they know how to do ABC? And if you don't know who that is, then how are you going to attract those people by creating content to pull them into your project?
Right. So it'd have to be people that have a MetaMask, have Ethereum, understand how to mint through either mint through a contract or mint through a website.
That's not be just Ethereum. It could be Tezos, it could be Matic. That also has to be part of the onboarding, because we're talking about Ethereum, but you've got other people using Matic.
No, but she's saying for this project that she's currently using.
I actually have to say, you know what? That's right. We're launching on Matic, so they actually have to have. They don't need Ethereum. They need to have Matic if it's launching on a Polygon.
So did that just change things for you?
Yeah, because how do they get the Matic in the first place? We need to onboard them through that process, which is a very different process.
No, but I'm trying to find qualified buyers for her project right now, right? So I asked her what qualities or things do they need to be able to do or have in order to even buy into her 3D dope art. And I don't even like here's the thing, how can if I never heard about this project in 3 or 4 words, if I had to tell my friend, what would I tell him to get him to be like, yo, I need to check this art out, or I need to check this project out?
You'd say it's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but in dope art in the metaverse.
So that's the closest thing that you gave me in a visual in my head. Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah, you know the Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
I do.
Kids? I don't know how old you guys are. Yeah, so imagine Rock'em Sock'em Robots with super dope art in the metaverse. Yeah, I know, right? I'm right there with you guys. I'm right there with you. It's Christmas morning.
Isn't that an assumption? So, Dottie, my question to you is, have you even done your own video snippet to say, right, guys, we're releasing this project. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be like blah, blah, blah. This is how you're going to go and get our project.
No.
That's the first answer. Yeah, you're doing your own onboarding video.
If there's anybody that knows how to do videos, back channel me.
This is Era. I know how to do videos. I'm gonna do it right now.
But you could be doing your own videos on your phone. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be this glorified professional video, right? You can do simple videos on your phone, because sometimes people want to see the authentic person behind it. Yeah, and it's not always great. Not saying that you can't do a professional video, great, but sometimes people just want to see you or the person or the project team behind that speaking about it in a natural, authentic way.
I agree.
Okay.
Is this helpful for you? Are you getting value from this?
I'm getting so much value from it. It's really about, I need to figure out who are the people that I have as qualified buyers, and how am I serving them well by informing them not only of the project, but how they get to the project. Yeah.
Can I add one other point to that? Also, maybe bringing people that you may not have thought about. This is why I say doing a video of how they get the Matic and onboard them. Maybe you'll be introducing people that would not even been interested in your project, but you're giving them value in making them understand how they can get into your project. So you now become the person that they want to collect because you've now taught them something.
Yeah, onboarding. So I could create onboarding content for people.
Correct.
And then by giving them that value, when they're onboarding, they're looking to like, what am I doing in the space? And finding a way to my project, if that's what they want, if that's what, where they find value ultimately.
Yeah, and more importantly, if it's of value, they're going to send people to your video again, because even if they don't buy your project, they're going to send other people, oh look, I've got Matic and this is how I got it, go watch this video.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, this is Faye. I feel the qualification for me is more about the type of personality of your community, because I think the main core for this project to succeed is not just the artworks, it's also about the community you're building, right? And you mentioned it's community about gaming. So I feel the qualification might be who really love gaming in, I don't know, like metaverse or in the Discord. There's some simple game. So I feel that might be qualification, because if the buyers don't like gaming, then you couldn't build up this IP or community for long term. But also, if you want to do gaming, you need to have a good investment, because a developer for the game and the sustain and marketing and you need an office to do the gaming business model. That I have learned from other professionals, because in the especially in the blockchain or how the space about, like you say, like NFT, Clubhouse, the more like it's a competition of gaming because everyone's doing the gaming. So get a sandbox and
here's
other like crypto Basel, etc. And you do know the roadmap of the like other metaverse. So that would be the qualification. So also in terms of gaming, there's so many gaming. So what kind of gaming you're looking for? If you haven't got the sandbox yet, then you might have to much more investment for that. Consider the previous adopter.
So I will say this is the group loves games, like we're lifetime gamers, and we do own sandbox land at this time. I will say that our project, what we seek to do is something more like Loot, where by creating, it's like we really like the idea of Loot, but the entry point that it's built to is difficult, as well as there's not quite enough there. So it's more like the concept of Loot, of like you're giving people balanced statistics built into dope art, and then burgeoning a game, a community-focused game around it is something that we'd really like. So at this point, that's, if that makes sense, it's not like we're building, it's more like seeding a community that then can produce a game, as opposed to we're building a game.
So your community will be full of developers, so that might be the qualification to define your project, right?
Yes, we want developers.
And I think developers are really picky because all the community want developers. Because all the gamification project, developers, they create their own project. Why they want to contribute to your project? This might be the question because I'm not sure. I just feel that's kind of logical,
right? Yeah, that's a very logical question. Like if we're building that community, we want a community of developers. Yeah, that's a big thing. I have that written all through how I want to build a community. It says I want builders. The idea is we're moving through this beautiful place called the metaverse, and it should be ethical. It should be like we're building something that we want for our children. So I think that starts with community. We need builders. That's the truth. That's who we want to be the buyers.
Challenging.
It's very challenging.
Yeah, unless the major team are like a top leader or very cool, like very cool, very high-end developers.
I'm not. Let me tell you guys, Dottie from Delaware is not. I'm not Dominic Hoffman. Okay, that's a very good question.
Definitely, there are a lot of community projects that also focus on gaming, and you don't have to do the project like root. Then you can still, it's more about community. So there are a lot of aspect to developer community. Sometimes they do charity work, and sometimes they do more, events style or like an interest. Like recently we have a community project which is about hip hop. So the college student or the grad student after college, they actually do the 10K generating our project about hip hop. The artworks are really terrible from Taiwan, I would say, but they're so confident because they are true hip hop rap music developer. So I feel they have confidence to do the events to really, and they want to do the business around hip hop. So they're going to build a community around hip hop, which is I feel is really accessible, achievable.
All right.
I hope they don't follow me to here.
Is anybody in the music space?
Yes. Thank you. I just want to thank everyone really quick.
Yeah, I make VJ loops.
What's up, Doug?
I say I make VJ loops. Like I work with musicians, make little animations.
Oh yeah. Like what 2D, 3D? What kind of animations?
I can do both, but generally I use 3D.
Actually, I think Douglas, you can talk about your game idea here.
Oh, can I do my pitch? All right.
About the gaming, because we're talking about gaming right now.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting game.
Yeah, so tonight is my my Genesis drop. I'm dropping 12 pieces, and I've designed it into a game. And the game is basically pitting the auction method versus the mint 10,000 and like at a reasonable price. And I'm just trying to basically get the community come together and kind of experience something together in this game. So my loops are very like tight loops, maybe 1 second to 3 second long. And when you buy the NFT, you get the file for the video, and you can play them in the background while you listen to music or anything like that. I've tried to make them as affordable as possible, so they're at 0.02 ETH. And as a community, on the one side of the race, as a community, like the next NFT will unlock once the first NFT reaches 50 sales. And then that'll keep happening until the last NFT, and then the last NFT will be free for all of the community. And then the other side of the race is I minted 10 of the 5 monochrome loops I have. I gifted half of them to the people in the community, and then I'm selling the other half. And those auctions are starting at 0.02 ETH. And the one person that collects all 5 of them, the first person to collect all 5 of them, will be gifted like the rarest of the whole collection, which is the 1-of-1 error cube. And you can see all the designs if you go to my Instagram and if you go to my pinned tweet on Twitter. And we're doing a drop party. So the drop is at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, and the drop party will start 30 minutes before. And yeah, I'd love to have you all out. Check it out if you like my work. I've been getting, a lot of great reception, amazing support. Faye was one of the people who's like really championed this thing, as well as Joseph and Eric. And I've been just trying to do, rooms all day yesterday and today. So love to have you all come out and check out my tweet to see the room for the drop party. If anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Douglas, I have a question. You actually mentioned just earlier about you are actually trying to make a comparison between 2 different business model, a generative art model in the space. One, can you just like
Yeah, sure. So the 2 main methods in which people are dropping NFTs right now is the 1-of-1 auction method, and then the other one is the 10,000 generative NFTs with specific unique traits and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to find an alternative that I think both of those economically leave value on the floor. Like I think what I'm doing is I'm selling them for an affordable price, and whatever doesn't sell at the end of 3 months, I'm going to burn the excess, so that helps with the scarcity mechanic. And yeah, I want to find an alternate method for especially young up-and-coming artists, because I want my pieces to be in everybody's wallet. Like, that's why making them super affordable. I would love to be, that matters more to me than, the bottom line. So that's what I'm experimenting with. I kind of built a drop to be almost a critique of the 2 methods that are going on. And yeah.
So for this drop, you have 2 types going at the same time. One is you have several 1-on-1, but you also have several. It's like multiple pieces. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So of the colored, like half of them are monochrome and half of them have color. But the ones that have color, those will be in. I minted 10,000 of each of them, and so.
I see, but I feel you probably need to do some more gamification upfront to make people realize it's like a social experiment among NFT space, right? How people adopting or choose your NFT. So I think you have to do more upfront for that. So it will be more interesting to as an experiment in the space.
Yeah, I definitely want this to be kind of like, it's an experimental drop. I'd love to see more experimental drops. I also don't want to make it too crazy technical. Like if you just like my art, like they'll be unlocked as time goes on. So please, if your only interest is to just buy some NFTs, please come for that reason as well.
I love the idea, but yeah, let me think about it. Hopefully before your drop party tomorrow, we can think of something more interesting.
Yeah, so it's tomorrow for Faye, but it's tonight for everyone in America, North America. 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific is the drop, and like I said, half an hour before will be the drop party.
Hey Dougie, this is Jen Joy. How are you?
Hi Jen, good. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to commend you for like taking it on and giving it a go and kind of figuring out your own niche and how you can explore this. I think it's a good introductory project for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I enjoyed kind of investigating, how you were figuring out your mechanic and everything. And I think I agree with you. Like more people need to be exploring these things, and I think a lot of people are just modeling what they see. And so I really enjoy, where there's more experimentation. I think that's awesome. I mean, obviously people want to make money, so I get that part. But my question for you is, who in this space have inspired you, and like which players are you looking at as far as you said you're exploring this and experimenting with this approach and trying different things. So I wondered if you could talk about who the folks are that you really enjoyed and why you enjoyed it, and then like how that is informing your choices for this particular project.
I mean, yeah, first and foremost is people. I'm a VJ, which is a video jockey. If you guys have ever been to a concert that has visuals, whoever operates the video playback and stuff like that. That's what I did. Before events totally got canceled and stuff like that. So when I started, it was definitely people, because he just posted all of his stuff online for free. These like really high quality loops, and I just use those nonstop. And actually, the story behind these particular loops is in 2018 I got to meet people, and I saw his talk about his everyday. And he's done. For those who don't know people, I mean, I'm sure most people do, but he's done a render every day for the last, I think it's coming on 11 years. And so, they're not all winners. Some of them, and the things that were most inspiring about his talk was he's done renders on days where his kids were born. So he's been in the waiting room making renders, while they're prepping his wife and stuff like that. I thought that was amazing. And then the two big inspirations for the actual drop itself were Blau did a really interesting drop where he released some to the community for $300, and then he did an auction for one. So I was like, wow, like these things can be really like layered and multi-dimensional. And then Mad Dog did something where he sold a bunch of them, and then if you traded what you bought, you have to trade 5 of them, I think, then he would give you an extra rare one. And so he kind of made like destruction into a mechanic, and I thought that was interesting. And so I kind of wanted to do the flip side, make creation mechanic. So that's where, people who, once you buy all of one type, then it unlocks the next one. And so, I don't know, I haven't seen much else other than those two, to be honest, but so those would have to be the biggest inspirations. So thanks for the question. Does that answer it?
No, that's cool. I think we're all familiar with those projects and stuff. I was just curious, like, recognizing how that conversation is shaping your first approach. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. And good luck with the project.
Thank you. Please, if you're available, please come out. I would love to have you there.
Yo, if anyone wants, I can play a song in it, but...
Yeah, I just helped Dot start creating an area for where she needs help. So if you guys want to come and help support her and the board, I kind of set her up. She wanted a board. We set her up. We walked her through all the different steps that I would ask going into a project and give people a little bit of an experience so they can understand some of the thoughts that need to take place before releasing a project. I think there's a lot of really awesome people in the community, and we can all work together to kind of figure out what these different roadmaps look like from a strategy standpoint and offer that information to the community so we can, not struggle as much.
What do you think about the whitelist strategy, Alex? Whitelist being a strategy where people may have, let's say, for example, you have 1,000 or maybe even 10,000 copies of stuff in your project or collection, and you invite the first 100 people to be on that whitelist versus just opening it up. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on a whitelist is I think it's important to create a group of people who are your super fans, your believers, the people who are going to be your cheerleaders. And when you have the opportunity for people to feel special and privileged because they were there early, the people who win are the people who are early, right? So by having a group of people who are guaranteed to get assets, and then the momentum of this thing just drives so much tension that they could have been an early adopter and not even been able to acquire an asset because the bots and other things are taking place that make it really difficult for people to even acquire the assets. So rewarding people for participating and showing loyalty to the project, I think, is an awesome gamified addition to every project.
Should definitely be potentially on everybody's strategy thinking or strategy board of creating some sort of whitelist for for the people that are supporting your project from the start and get go.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how many projects are being attacked by bots. So the Sneaky Vampire Syndicate was brought up on my radar 5 days before the launch. I couldn't get on the whitelist. I watched them do the drop. I tried to participate in the drop, and in order for you to even get on the list to even mint the first one, you have to have solved the CAPTCHA. So there was like a little question. It's like write out 11, and I spelled 11 out, not realizing that it was probably 1-1, so I didn't get on the list the first time. And then the second one, it said spell 3, so I wrote the word out 3, THREE, and I still didn't do it. And I hit that enter button within 4 to 8 seconds after the launch went live, and I still didn't get on the list, right? So the anxiety and stress and feeling of not being able to participate in something that you think is going to potentially be awesome. And one of the reasons that project was so much attention on it is because the artist who did the Bored Apes did this project, and the floor of the pre-sale was 2 or 3 ETH or something like that, right? So there was an immediate value, and as soon as it minted, people were listing it and making 10x on their money, which is pretty wild. But if you weren't able to get on that list, you'd have to spend 10x in order to even participate in the journey, and then they're going to be doing airdrops and other things that are giving you access to the community. And it was a super active Discord. I think there was 10,000 people in that Discord. So like understanding, being like a fluff in the fluff Discord. If you were in the fluff Discord before they did the launch, you could have got on that pre-list just because they gifted that experience to the people who were basically adopting the ability to be in that Discord, right? So having these different protocols put in place is making your super fans even bigger super fans.
Just on that point on Discord, I must admit I've kind of neglected Discord in some ways, but what I'm finding now is people are using Discord as a soundboard, and which is quite a benefit to you when you're actually looking into your own drops and sounding things out in your community, because they're actually telling you what they want and what they would like. So I think, again, question to you, Alex, kind of like Discord, what's your real opinion of Discord in these type of projects?
Discord is where the heart lives. This is the heartbeat of the project. If you do not have a Discord, you are going to probably fail. when they're doing announcements. Listen, when I started the Discord for nfts.tips, I never even heard the word Discord. I didn't know anything about it. I set it up and I just started adding all these ideas in my head and building it like I would build a website. There are certain structures that are proven to work and are successful, and one of the channels that are absolutely necessity is an announcement channel where you're going to announce special news and when the live auction goes or when the mint is available or certain things. Oh, congratulations, we sold out. That channel alone is like paramount, right? Then there's a general chat where during a drop you got thousands of people spewing their thoughts and you're getting thousands of messages a second and you're just seeing this feed. You can't even, it's humanly impossible to read. But to be able to see how active these discords are during these moments is when you can kind of predict how well the drop's going to do. One of the things I also looked at is the emojis. It's so stupid. I don't understand why it was so attractive. But if you have a group of people make an announcement and then there's only 3 people that hit the emoji sign, that tells me that the project doesn't know how to engage their audience. So they're failing to create a fun and gamified environment. And by having this engaged group is going to give them an opportunity to grow. Another thing that I witnessed, and some of these drops go from 300 to 400 people and then to the thousands in a matter of 12 to 14 hours before the drop, because they do some sort of gamified invite game where they give away ETH or assets, and the people who share the most people to get them onto that platform gets a prize. So now everybody's reaching out, but most people don't know how to reach out properly, so it's just a bunch of spam. So I don't know how effective it is. There's ways to just fill up a Discord. If they're not qualified buyers, then how powerful is that list? You know, so thinking about these things and identifying what protocols have to be in place to really find your key targeted audience is going to give you the access to have a more successful drop.
So I have a strong vision of what I want the Discord to look at like, but I don't know if it's executable because I would need key people that are better at Discord than me, and like a puzzle creator, and then people that just understand the structure of Discord. But I would really like to gamify my Discord so that there's just a way for the community to be working on just puzzles and solving problems together, building toward the drop.
Give me an example of a puzzle.
Alright, so this is it. You show up at the Discord, right? And immediately when you land there, there's like these mission statements. So for instance, a mission statement would be for NFT tips, would be like onboard together. And then maybe the other one is build the world you want to see. And maybe the other one is let's fucking go to the moon. And you're gonna pick a faction that speaks to you, and that's gonna open up part of the Discord. And there's a mod who identifies with that vision, and there's going to be puzzles. Solving the puzzles as a community is going to get you on the whitelist and mint you that mint pass to differing degrees based on what factions solve problems at what levels. And this is just a build up toward the drop.
So is this? Go ahead.
But that's an example.
So is this appealing to a consumer or a developer?
Both, I'd imagine.
Because this reminds me of a billboard that I saw where Google was trying to recruit talent and they had an equation, and if you could figure out that equation, it would give you the link that you would need to apply for a job to work at Google, right? So if you're looking to collect developers and you can figure out a way to use the puzzles to gatekeep it so they have to have a certain knowledge base to even approach the project, that might be a way you can collect a specific group of target demographics.
I also like the idea of like maybe one of the puzzles being that in order for you to mint, it's going to search, the contract's going to search and see if you own any other NFTs, and then you can't mint the pass. That way it teaches people to create burner wallets when they're linking up to these like random sites. Developers will be able to figure it out really quick because they'll just look at the contract and say, why aren't I minting? But people that are brand new to NFTs won't get that automatically because it'll be the first thing they mint. So they'll just solve that puzzle right away. Just little things like that I'd like
So you said two things that I don't know if everybody in this room knows: a burner wallet and a mint pass.
That you create, no, because you just kind of want a jar. You want to separate your assets and all of your like kind of major things on a hot wallet, which is to say a wallet that's on a cloud and therefore accessible by any outward influences or attackers. And you're going to create this hot wallet separate from your major assets, and just basically you're going to onboard onto that wallet whatever you need to achieve, whether that's verifying to a community that you belong there, or if it's trying to mint something, so you have to verify ownership of something, but it's not your main wallet. It's a hot wallet that you've separated from yourself to give yourself that extra level of security.
So let me just ask you this, because I don't know if I've separated. I know what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. I have like probably 100 wallets already, but is this the process? When you open up MetaMask and you click, I can do it right now and show people who are watching the live stream still so they can see what I'm saying. If I go into MetaMask and I click on this thing, it's going to give me a password. I put in my password, if I remember it, and now I have the ability to open up any wallets that are associated to this account, right? So if I create a new account under my main wallet, is that making me still vulnerable, or do I have to create a whole new MetaMask profile to create a burner wallet?
I mean, as far as I know, you could just create another account in your MetaMask
Okay.
for a burner wallet.
So for the people who don't understand, when you connect to websites and you use 3.0, Web 3.0, it uses your wallet address as your username and password. So if you start using your main wallet and there's malicious code on that website and you connect to it and you were unaware, or something gets compromised afterwards, and I was showing people earlier, when you go into MetaMask, there's a little thing that has 3 little dots and it says connected sites. I always go in here and manually remove every single website that I go to, because in case something happens, I don't want to be vulnerable.
Repeat that again, because a lot of people do not know that. Yeah, I noticed that as well. How do you remove
You're breaking up. Say it again slow. Alright, so I'm going to go and connect to a website. I don't know what websites give me this thing, so I'm going to show you another thing in the process. So I go to this website called rarity.tools, and this gives me access.
Hold on. Tell people where you are, because a lot of people are asking me in the back channel how they see you on the YouTube channel.
Alright, I am on Airtime, and I'm streaming the YouTube live in Airtime right now, so you guys can follow along and have visual aid, because a lot of this stuff is very challenging to try to figure out alone without some sort of visual aid. So we're right now inside airtime.com under the nfts.tips welcome room, and we are going to be going to rarity.tools, and I want to show you what I'm talking about as far as connecting your wallet to different projects and seeing what that looks like. So in rarity.tools, this gives you a list of all. Yeah.
Too fast. One of the things that they would want to know is if they're going to go to YouTube, how can they see you? So they kind of need the YouTube URL.
The YouTube URL is my name, Alexander Mazai, on YouTube, and then you just find the link where it says I'm live on the homepage of my profile. Okay, so over here in rarity.tools, it has a list of all the collections and the volume traded of all these collections. So this is one way you can check out what's going on. I like to come over here to upcoming projects, and it gives me an ability to see what's going on. So yesterday's sales, let's see if there's anything that says today's sales. So what time is it now? It is 12:46. 12:46. There's a sale going on right now, 1 o'clock. So let's click on this, and we can go to this area, and it says there's 13 minutes and it's launching in 13 minutes. Oh my God, what do we do? Oh, this is so exciting. Let's take a look. So we got a roadmap, we got some facts, we got some information of who the developers are. This is another area that's important. One of the things that I look for right away are these logos right here. Twitter, Discord, and OpenSea. So these are like paramount. There's a minting page right here. So you can hit the minting page. It says join the Discord. I don't know what I'm going to try to buy. It won't let me buy because the time limit hasn't gone. So let's see how popular this project is. So we're looking at this project. It's got 4,956 people. Let's take a look. They made 42 tweets. They have a link to their Discord and a link to the website. They joined this September, so this account is fairly new. And then I look and see how many people retweet and reshare and like their posts. And I'm not seeing a huge, like, here's 58 retweets. So this potentially was like posted and pinned at the top, which is what gave it the ability to have that many. So yeah, let's see if there's any. Here's a 98 retweets. So why was this one important? What was in this that made it make sense? It says we have had press releases, medium articles, publications, banner ads listed on the NFT sites. So I guess this is just awesome for people to feel like they're a part of this, and that's why they wanted to let people know. Okay, so let's go to their Discord. I'm not going to actually open the Discord because my Discord is absolutely full, but this link will give us an idea of approximately how many people are in the Discord. 2,600 people. So if it is true that it came from, let's join it anyway, why not? If it's true that the people came from Twitter and moved over here, now there's only, it went from 6,000 down to 2,600 people that are total.
That's still pretty good, right, Alex? As far as odds?
I don't know. I don't have any idea of whether it's good or bad. I'm just experiencing this, right? So this is how I identify what's going on. So over here on the right is the area of roles. So the Godfather, or I guess this is probably the developers or the admins. Then you got recruit. So these, I guess, are people who are focused on growing the community. Mice, pups, I don't know what that is. So I guess these are newbies. I don't know how they got their name yellow. So maybe they had to verify or do something to get there. Then I scroll down and look at the bottom of this list to see if there's anything beyond this. Some of these people use words and terms that are like unfamiliar to try to make it fun. But it looks like there's a difference between people who are online and people who are in this Discord in the yellow. So I don't know what the difference is, but I have to hit this verify. In order for me to verify this channel, I have to click a button. Now it gives me access to the welcome message. So now I came onto this space and it has the information and rules. So this is pretty general. It's pretty much the same on a lot of them. It has announcements. So it's telling us right now, officially we are verified on Etherscan. So I'm going to click this link and I'm going to show you a little cheat code. So when I come in here, I'm looking at the thing, and they minted their first contract, the first transaction of this code was on 9 days ago. Sorry guys. So let's see who's the holder. There's one holder, and it's the deployer of this asset. So if you come in to the area, let's see where it is. This is super useful that they put these links in here because sometimes they don't have any of this information here. This contract gives you access to where these things are going to be posted on OpenSea if they didn't list it on the website. So I usually come in here and I test this link over here on OpenSea. The reason I do this now is to get to this button right here, which is the activity. This activity is going to be our eyes and ears of when the transactions are live, and you're going to start seeing mint, 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 mint. Once we see those mints happening, that means that the contract is 100% live, and then you have to look at your gas fee and make sure that you have enough gas to cover the gas fees and that your GUI is like at the highest potential that you're willing to pay to make that transaction go through if you believe that this is going to be a successful project. So we got 8 minutes until it goes live. Let's see, we go to the preview. It just gives us a little idea of what the artwork's going to look like. The roadmap, let's see, collector will be added to rarity tools. Okay, great. Holders will get a gift. Cool. PS5 giveaway at 65 or 60%. So 60% of sales, they're going to give away a PS5. So is this giveaway enough to sell this project to 60%? Maybe. Then they're going to be doing a charity, and then they're going to do